My name's Molly, and I'm here to tell you my fibromyalgia story with Hashimoto's and IBS. So when I was little, I was sick a lot and I didn't feel good often. And I remember when I was getting ready for school, if my socks would bunch up in my shoes or my sleeves would bunch up in my coat, it was so intolerably uncomfortable that I had to either fix it or I would cry in agony. Pretty silly, but whatever. And and I had trouble sleeping, and I couldn't sleep on the floor or like on the ground to go camping. So I would just have restless nights of nightmares, and that wasn't fun. So eventually I was diagnosed, and I was misdiagnosed based on my depression and anxiety that came with my fibromyalgia. But see, fibro was the cause. So then I was also diagnosed with sorry. So when I was 15, my mom noticed that suddenly I didn't want to do anything such as like going and hanging out with friends, leaving the house, leaving my bed. All I wanted to do was watch TV, laying down, and eat. And that's it. And for a 15-year-old, that is pretty irregular. So I was taken to the doctor, and upon doing blood work, they realized I was diagnosed with hypothyroid and prescribed medication, which controlled it, and within a couple months, my normal life resumed. And that went on. I went on okay for a while, and then I noticed that every winter, fall to winter, I had consistent, sharp, just awful migraine headaches and neck ache, and it would go like down my spine, and my spine has always hurt so bad it can't be touched. So that's also a sign of that. Eventually I saw an endocrinologist and was further diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disorder which causes your immune system to not recognize your thyroid gland, attacking it and slowing its function. And that really didn't affect the medication I was on or anything. It was just here's a clearer image of what you have. So thank you. So in my early 20s, I noticed that in the evening my abdomen was always swollen, and this was painful and would cause asthma attacks. Yes, I also have asthma. I'm just a mixed up mess. See, the thing with IBS is you can have it and have it for a really long time before you know anything, and that can also lead to furthering the fibromyalgia pain. So that's where it ties into that, because every single time I had a abdominal flare-up, I also had extreme pain in the rest of my body, meaning hands, feet, ankles, knees, hips, head, neck, back, just you name it. It all flared up together. So by the end of my 20s, I was fully frustrated with all this pain and suffering. Still didn't know I had those two, the fibromyalgia and the IBS. And when I got into my 30s, I finally went to a doctor and straight up said, "Hey, guess what? I have fibromyalgia. Go ahead and do whatever you gotta do to test me. I'm completely confident in that." So they did the touch test, they did all the other blood work to rule anything else out, and lo and behold, that's the only thing that could explain all that pain, and I was put on medication. Yay. At one point in time, I was actually on 9 medications, all that were either for pain or to help me sleep with the pain I was going through and the insomnia that comes with it. And I gained about 50 pounds from that. We'll talk about that later. Okay. And then eventually got off of the medications. Now I've been off of them for about a year this time. I plan to stay off. And the reason I know I'm going to be able to is because now I'm vegan. We'll get into that later too. So finally, toward the end of 2015, now it's 2016, y'all know, I was tired of the swelling going on in my abdomen causing everything else. Like, I had to do even nebulizer treatments and just take stuff for pain because of what that caused. And so I got testing done for that, and one of the tests I got done was a colonoscopy. Oh, how exciting! I got to starve for like 2 days, and then I got to tube up my butt. How exciting! Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. No, but it was beautiful. I have a beautiful colon, they said, and no damage, no nothing wrong. So basically they were able to rule everything else out, and I have IBS. Da 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 da. Could be worse, I guess, but at least now I know, and I can do stuff about it. And the stuff that I'm doing is a strict, pretty strict, vegan diet. I have to admit, for the last couple months I've been off and on junk food vegan. We'll get into that later too, but I'm ready to stop doing that because that doesn't help the IBS or my fibro or really any of that. But all in all, being vegan has had a positive effect on all of these conditions, and I'm hoping it has a positive effect on my fertility. We'll get into that later too. Thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day.